The Carol Rogers Show, starring Carol Rogers.
Hello, and welcome to the Carol Rogers Show. That's me. I'm so happy to have with me this evening, morning, evening, whenever, it's evening when we're doing this here in Omaha, one of my great friends, Dr. James, or we prefer to call him Jimmy Salhany, on my show. We're having a wonderful time in this interview. You won't want to miss it. But we're going to begin with an Omaha History Minute. Enjoy.
The growing popularity of big company motion pictures in the 1920s caused the shutdown of many live theater productions in the U.S. Theater enthusiasts across the nation began the Little Theater movement to rekindle interest in hometown-produced theater. In 1924, in Omaha, Nebraska, a group which included Marlon Brando's mother, Dorothy Brando, founded the Omaha Community Playhouse, and they put on productions at various sites around the city until a permanent site was built on Cass Street in 1959. Since 1925, many talented Omahans have participated in the Playhouse, including 20-year-old Henry Fonda, who won leading roles in numerous plays. Today, the remodeled Omaha Community Playhouse is an Omaha icon that puts on amazing productions with beautiful sets. These shows pack the 561-seat theater, averaging over 100,000 in attendance each year. Since the 1980s, the Omaha Community Playhouse has been recognized as one of the best community theaters in America. To learn more about the Omaha Community Playhouse, visit their website at www.omahaplayhouse.com. This has been an Omaha History Minute.
I bet you learned something that you didn't know. These Omaha history segments will be amazing. There'll be a recurring theme on my show. But on my show for the first time is one of my good friends, Dr. James Salhany. And, I thought about you last night as I realized I would have to interview you. And I created a word for you. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, check this out. It's called bivocational. And I tested it on my friends on the East Coast, and they said, no, you should say bivocational, but you know what? It's my show, it's my moment. Bivocational. If I said you are bivocational, would you agree with that?
Yeah, there are times when I even say tri-vocational.
Good for you. Well, I'm not prepared for the tri, but we'll definitely work with the bi.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that, I think. But yeah, that's fairly accurate.
Okay, so it does apply to your life. And I know some things about you, and as we begin to get into this interview, all you have to say, yes, it's true. Yeah, I got it like that. You studied biochemistry at the University of Florida.
Chemistry, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you got your PhD from the University of Chicago.
That's right.
You got your postdoctoral research at Bell Laboratories in New Jersey.
That's right.
See, I know a lot of stuff about him. See, I did my homework here. Mm-hmm. You were assistant professor in 1975 here in Omaha, and then you went to full professorship at University of Nebraska Medical Center.
That's true.
The Department of Internal Medicine and Biochemistry.
That's true.
And molecular biology. I said all of that. I'm so proud of myself.
That's good.
I did.
That's good,
Yeah,
Carol.
really good, especially when my tongue is still so dry. Okay, but that's absolutely an amazing list of accomplishments already. Okay, you researched magnetic resonance in the Heart Laboratory at UNMC. Wow, I'm batting 1,000 already, right? And you did research at the blood laboratory at the VA Medical Center.
Right, these are laboratories that I set up with grants. But yeah, those were one was at the Med Center and one was at the VA. Right.
Oh my. And now you are Professor Emeritus, and the root
right.
word of that means you're married because you are now retired.
That's true.
Okay,
That's true.
Now.
After 40 years, I should say.
Oh my, that's a long time. Have you ever taken a test where all of it is correct?
Well, once in a while.
Okay, very good. Anyway, the thing that I find absolutely fascinating with you is with this amazing career that you've had as can I call you a physicist?
Sure.
Doctor. One thing that I find amazing about you is that you're an amazing, prolific musician. Now, I have had 4 kids, and I've spent their youth trying to figure out, so much money during their youth, I should say, trying to figure out what area do I push them in, what's going to stick, and evidently science was something that you liked at a very young age.
Yeah, well, when I was in high school, the Russians sent up Sputnik, and our government woke up and said, "Oh my gosh, we're behind the curve."
The race to space.
They were looking down on us, okay, literally. So I can remember when all the old textbooks and some of the old teachers went out the door, and they brought in all these new things. It was so exciting to be be in science, and I didn't know whether I had the right stuff, but I really enjoyed it, and eventually it sort of led to my ultimate career. And it was a time when there were, I don't remember, certainly not in my case, borrowing to go to school. My parents couldn't afford it. The government was giving us money to go to school because we were behind the 8 ball with regard to the Russians and their development. And that was, even Bill Gates has said we need another Sputnik because we need to kickstart
kickstart, that's a great word.
The educational process and make it easier for people to get where I got from basically a working class family.
Well, you were born in Detroit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was in Detroit that you got your first guitar.
Yeah, right. We used to go to my grandmother's house, and my cousin's father worked for Ford, and my dad had a little more of a iffy job. So he got this electric guitar, and I played the pots and pans of my grandmother's pots and pans. That was my first percussion thing. And one day I was riding my bicycle, and I saw this guitar in a junk store, and my mother gave me $10 to buy it, and that was my first guitar. It had a crack, but it played, And I started doing these 2-note chords, which you could get away with in the 50s, boom, 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 that kind of stuff. Nothing complicated.
Power chords? I don't. And evidently you kept up with your music. You kept up, obviously, with your studies
Sure.
that, have you in this wonderful emeritus position now. But evidently music continued to be that
Right.
thing that you went
I
back
call
to
it
as
my
well.
golf game.
Your golf game.
Yeah.
I don't like golf,
everybody
so-
needs a golf game.
Yeah.
However you define it. You can put quotes all over it.
Right.
And, it just was part of sanity. It started off actually when I was going to Wayne State University. I got interested in poetry. I was introduced and was in the class of W.D. Snodgrass, who had won the Pulitzer Prize for his work on changing the way poetry is done, essentially. Although he never believed he should have gotten the Pulitzer Prize, but that's another story. But I got turned on to words and to expression, which sort of fed into the science thing, because in science you write up what you discover, and you have to be clear and to the point. So they were actually self-reinforcing, and I just started between that and lyrics and music, things started happening.
So Florida. I know part of your Florida story because
Gainesville.
you loved working, as far as your guitar work is concerned, you started to study Brazilian and Latin rhythms and things.
That's right. That's why we talked about it, because
Yes.
of your,
Yes.
we actually started in high school.
Okay.
We had a Brazilian exchange student, and I started learning the inside jazz chords. My mother's side of the family have a Cuban extraction, so I know a little bit about Spanish, and I could kind of morph some of the Portuguese words. So that was kind of all working together with, playing the guitar and doing those things. But in Florida, it really exploded. I joined the Brazilian club, and we were playing music all the time. And many of them were scientists too, just so we were kind of scientists, musicians, and having fun.
Wow. And you obviously continued in Chicago. I'm trying to parallel your life as a scientist and how you continue to grow as a musician, because the culmination, you never finished, because that's the way you roll as far as your writing things. We're going to get to that, but I just kind of want to do a chronology of your life continuing with your music in your studies. Chicago presented opportunities to play as well?
No, that's where it got really intense then, and there was a lot going on. So And I had actually done my thesis research at Bell Labs. Chicago is a fantastic place. They'll let you go any place to get something, make discoveries, you know, and support it. So yeah, I was spending a lot of time, you know, doing the science, and I'd play. Well, there was a time in New York when I was there at Bell Labs. We'd go into Little Italy, and you know, sometimes I'd bring a guitar to a restaurant and we'd just jam out or something. But it was, and even at the parties that we had with the group at Bell Labs, I'd play some music and just have fun.
Sounds great. New Jersey, did you find more opportunity there?
Well, you know, that's where Bell Labs was.
Exactly.
And so that was really a great institution at the time. And that was before the Carter administration decided to break up AT&T. And they pretty much killed one of the greatest scientific institutions in the country, which was really shocking. I can remember the day when that happened. Everybody just stood in the hall like, you know, they got hit by a truck. Because they knew that it was not going to go. We had people, Nobel Prize winners in my group, members of the National Academy of Sciences. They all took off to universities and said sayonara to Bell Labs, and Bell Labs turned into basically a technical factory for AT&T, something like that.
It seems then that Omaha, became the place where things began to really pick up for you musically, even
Absolutely.
though you're doing all these wonderful things at UNMC. And at the VA Medical Center, something happened here. Talk to me about that. What happened?
Well,
here?
I moved into the old market.
Oh, heaven! Yes, but
and I met a person. He and his girlfriend, he was working for Mark Mercer. He was one of the persons that kept everything going. You know, and his name was Kevin Whetstone. And Kevin and I started just jamming. You know, and his wife, girlfriend, I guess it was. And we just started having fun, and there was a place which is now, I think it's called Omaha Prime, used to be the Puppet Theater, and Kevin had the key to the Puppet Theater, so we'd go in there and start jamming, you know, and just having fun. And next thing you know, people started showing up, you know, and we got a crowd. So we thought, wow, that's pretty interesting. And we then decided, at that time, the Howard Street Tavern was going, and they had on the lower level a place for new groups to come in and sort of do things. And so we started doing them, and we started getting a lot of fans. We played a lot of places in the old market and out of the old market. And then we also did, I had a girlfriend at the time who came from New York. She had gotten her degree at Juilliard in modern dance. Her name was Dalian Majors, and Dalian started the Omaha Modern Dance Collective. Well, we had an idea once, and really I think it was mostly Dalian's, of doing a movie, dancing in various locations in the old market. And so I wrote most of the music except one piece that she did at the railroad station in period costume, an Eric Satie piece. I have that tape. Okay, and I actually digitized it. NET let me digitize, because I wrote the songs. I said I picked a couple that I liked, and that's on my website. But if you look at that tape, you'll see the old market before it was destroyed. Or the Jobbers Canyon and all those great places that I actually went to City Hall and spoke up against that process, but it was too late.
I need to know. I need my viewers.
But we did this movie. It was really fun.
It's crossing genres is your baby that keeps growing and growing and growing.
Largely because it's like, I guess, like a kid. Sometimes you get bored doing the same thing. So I really enjoy diversity.
Now tell the viewers though, what is crossing? I know what it is, but I need you.
Well, genres are
I know what
styles and crossing.
But you called it. Your project is always called Crossing Genres.
Yeah, we call it, right.
With you and your wife, Christine.
Right.
Yes.
Our logo is
We've gone from his girlfriend to now he's married.
Well, I mean,
Don't get this twisted. He's an honest man, okay?
Because you write in these various genres, I had to name it somehow. So I put it with my wife, Christine Salhany, in Crossing Genres. She got a degree in flute performance, and she's discovered early on and now enforced that she's a really great singer. And so she's covered quite a few of my songs.
Hopefully we're going to have a clip of a song that you and she wrote called Scared.
You haunt me, you call me, no answer.
more. How many albums, you write all your material?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, absolutely.
Most, you co-write, but you write all your material. How many CDs so far?
Well, altogether, I've produced over 100 songs, and but they weren't all mine. We actually, what happened one time, we were members of the St. Margaret Mary Parish, and you know, Chris sings at the masses, and I play guitar. I used to play guitar anyway. And one time there was this ladies group that was part of the church, and they come for their meditation purposes. But they called and they said, "Do you have a tape of Chris singing? Because we hear her all the time at church, and we'd like to have a listen while we're having our thing." And I said, "No." I hung up the phone. I said, "Chris, God wants us to make a CD."
So that was the birth
that
of
was
your
the
first
CD. Yeah. And we did 3 spiritual CDs, and then I started writing in earnest. And there are, I think now, 10 of my CDs out there.
Absolutely
around.
amazing. Later on in this segment, too, what we're going to do is perform one of your songs, and I want to talk about that.
Sure.
I had the immense pleasure of singing for you on one of your songs.
Have you. Are you kidding? You're a legend.
Thank you. And you are too, and hence, you know, I'm grateful to have you here on my show.
Thank you for inviting me, by the way. It's a real pleasure. I'm excited for you, by the way, too. I think this is going to be a great legacy theory series.
Thank you. We're going to keep it all Omaha because there's so many wonderful things going on here in Omaha.
Absolutely.
And one of them is Jimmy. I don't want to distract our attention because I really, really want to ask you about that lyric. Now, you've written not only different genres, but you've written also different sentiments, or like the one that we're going to do, Your Face is More Political. You have romantic songs.
Yes. Yes, I have a jazz, I think the first CD was a bunch of different things. It was very short. It was like an extended play. Then I started writing, I did a country CD, which I call Close to Country because, and in fact, I imaged it by putting my wife in a cowgirl hat on a rocking horse, and my daughter animated it.
I've got that one.
But anyway, it had various things in it, like some country songs, some rockabilly, some bluesy kind of things.
But these are genres. Talk to me now.
Yes.
As we're coming to the time when we're going to present this song. Tell me about Your Face. What an amazing song.
Thank you.
I know that one particularly because I'm on it, but it's profound.
Well, you did a great job too, Carol. Your interpretation was absolutely fantastic. Working in the studio with you is not working on my part. It was like Carol Go and everything.
Tell me about the lyrics.
Well, the lyrics are, really the thing started from what I understood Mother Teresa, now Saint Teresa, said when asked why she was in the streets of Calcutta taking care of these people. And she said, as I understand it, that she saw Christ in the eyes of these people. So, you know, she couldn't not attend to them. And I thought, wow, you know, that's an interesting idea where if you look at the plight of children today, and there's a huge list of things that I won't go into because everybody knows about them pretty much, where you can actually wonder why we're so detached. Well, I thought, well, if you could look in the eyes of people, you'll see yourself, actually literally, right? I mean, eyes are sort of mirrors, but also spiritually. And so that's where that song came from. It came from, and then when you get these ideas, you know, a kernel of an idea, then what happens is magic sometimes. You know, I can't even tell you sometimes how it happens, but it happens.
Oh.
I mean, words start happening, I can play any kind of chords I want to do, and that's it.
How do you go about gathering the musicians for your project?
Well,
especially with the different genres. I mean, Omaha provides all these things. My hometown is the bomb shiggity, okay?
With a great studio guy, Jeremy Garrett. And Jeremy, I think if I understand it correctly, just got nominated as one of the several studio persons to be considered for an Omaha Music Award here. And Jeremy is fantastic. He was at the Electric Lady in New York, the Jimi Hendrix studio, and he's from Nebraska, and he came here, and that's where we met initially. And he started his own studio, and I've been with him ever since. But he knows people, and what I've discovered is that there are a lot of what I call late 20s, early 30s something musicians here are almost always UNO trained, very much, or Lincoln, and they're very, very good and very easy to work with, enthusiastic, and you know, we just have done a lot of great things with these people. It's a pleasure to work with them. It's very exciting.
Well, I know for this particular song that I was involved with, you pulled in Norman Love.
Norman Love. Well, I'll tell you that story. That's interesting because I live in the old market and there's all kinds of music going on. Some of it I wouldn't even call music, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm walking along, I don't know where I was going exactly, but I hear these notes going through the old market and they're just beautiful. And that's very rare. It's not impossible. And I walked over to him, I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm Norman Love." I said, "Oh, I knew your dad. You're hired." and that's where Norman came into.
Did an amazing job.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Just amazing. He's so lyrical with his approach to how he uses his horn.
Yeah, I know.
We have the privilege soon of hearing your face.
Yeah.
And performing it together. And
absolutely.
I cannot.
How did I run into you though? I can't remember that. Do you remember?
We went, you smoke cigars.
That's true.
And I was trying to learn how to smoke cigars, so we went to Havana Garage,
yeah,
and
right.
We've met there I don't know how many times. So I cannot thank you enough for this wonderful interview, for sharing. Oh, how does one get a hold of your music? Is there a
we're
website?
all over the place. My website is called crossinggenres.com, CROSSINGGENRES.com.
Okay.
And there's two players if you have the right programs to run them. Unfortunately, it's because Apple doesn't use
I know the Hatfield's version.
But then you can go to iTunes or on iTunes and Spotify. If you go to Spotify and pay a little bit to stream all songs, and go to Christine Salhany and Crossing Genres, you can see all 100 songs. And
wonderful.
Sit there and listen to them.
Wonderful.
We get paid practically nothing, so you're welcome to listen to them as long as
It's always in the joy and always in the
Absolutely.
talent. And I'm just so grateful to have had Jimmy here with me. We're going to sing for you, and you're going to stick around because you're going to really love this song. It's for the heart. I am officially cool as my guest, Jimmy Salhany. This is the Carol Rogers Show. Thank you so much for viewing. Listen to this song that he wrote.
How many times will the sun rise and set before we find the truth? And how many days will the children have to cry for the lack of food? Before they have gone to their graves. It's hard to find a refrain. There are no words to explain a child life gone to waste. It's like the whole world's frozen in place. It's like the whole world's frozen in place. So you gotta stop the madness. You gotta stop the pain. You gotta stop and think about others so that you won't live in vain. So that you won't live in vain. Safe in your gated community, defenses. But there's one thing that you should know. Germs, they fly over fences. Germs, they fly over fences. So you gotta stop this madness. You gotta stop, put your gun away. You gotta stop, and look the children in the eye. And you will see your face. And you will see your face. And you will see your face.